Hello and welcome to The Football Bond, a podcast between a father, hi, I'm Chris,
and a daughter, hi, I'm Kara,
and we are going to cover the NFL games that happened this past week. It was the start of the season, so it was week 1, so we really had some excitement this week, and we're going to cover those games, maybe give you a few anecdotes and things that we think, and just understand that it's our opinion. It's our opinion. So you may have a different one. That's why we all have teams that we like. As you can see, I'm sporting the Bills.
And I'm sporting the Dallas Cowboys.
And there's that. So let's get into the game. So the week started off really with a big news. Actually, a week before the season started off with some big news that Micah Parsons had been traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. We all kind of went, oh, what'd you think?
Being a Dallas fan, it hurt a little bit, but I would have liked to see him go anywhere but Green Bay. So I'm still a little iffy on that.
Well, I don't know that he increased his chances to go to the Super Bowl unless he buys a ticket. So,
yeah, I agree.
To me, it was kind of what I would call a lateral move. But, hey, he's making a lot of money now. He's actually the highest paid non-quarterback now playing the game. So, there's that. All right, so let's get into the game. Thursday night football. We've got Cowboys, we got Eagles, a NFC East rivalry matchup that is for the ages. I can even remember back, and I'm going to tell my age, to the bounty game where they had bounties on the punter and whatnot in the Eagles-Cowboys game. It was really awesome. But final score was 24-20. Now, as this game started, Dallas looked pretty good. We were all kind of shocked.
We were. Dak coming off of a hamstring injury. He looked good. You could tell that he hadn't been on the field for a while, but if it wasn't for his receivers dropping passes, I honestly think the game would have turned out a little bit different.
I do agree. And two, with the weather delay that happened, that was actually the point that I went to bed. But a little weather delay happened. I'm not sure the total amount of the delay. Like I say, I went to bed. I woke up to the same score I went to bed with. So, of course, the Eagles looked good. Did they look like they were defending Super Bowl champions? No, because they don't want to be labeled as that. Really interesting to me because if you just won the Super Bowl, wouldn't you want to be defending it? But then again, it's the Eagles. So what can you say? Not much.
But coming from a Dallas fan, not liking the Eagles as we do, it was a Jalen Hurts show. Like, he didn't target any of his key players. Yeah, he targeted one tight end 6 times. But one thing that I think Jalen Hurts needs to realize is just because he's the quarterback does not mean that every football game is a one-man show.
There you go. Now, as you can already tell, the title of our show is The Football Bond. Me being the father, her being the daughter. This is our connection. My daughter knows a lot about NFL football. She's put many boys to shame with the amount of knowledge that she has about NFL football. So we found it fitting to do this podcast for you so that we could come together, share our knowledge, cover the games, have some fun, and maybe learn something.
Because we sit on the couch after every game and we talk football and no one hears us. So why not share it with the world?
That's right.
At the moment, I don't believe there are any father-daughter podcasts. So we thought it would be a good chance to say, hey, you know what? Let's dip our toes in the sand. Come on, let's do it.
Let's go. So, on to the next game. Friday night, we had a game in Brazil between the Chiefs and the Chargers. The game started out kind of slow. Chiefs were, Patrick Mahomes was doing his thing. Early on, though, unfortunately for the Chiefs, Taylor Swift's fiance, yeah, that's what I call him, took out a member of his own team, not only took him out, but dislocated his shoulder. I mean, wow. Somebody should have zigged when they zagged. I don't know. Yeah.
And there have been memes and there have been really funny things going around because in the New Heights podcast, when Taylor was on, she talked about how she was so excited that they drafted Xavier Worthy. And then the first game of the season, Travis took him out. So
maybe he didn't like that. Oh, conspiracy! Get your aluminum foil hats out, people. Oh man! But the game got rather exciting, and I saw an awesome replay of Patrick Mahomes totally laid out in the air and still completed the pass to Scantling, I think it was, for the first down. I mean, he's still a heck of an athlete. It was a really good game. It just went to show, though, that the Chargers had more weapons. Justin Herbert is an awesome quarterback. He's coming into his own. They brought Keenan Allen back from the Bears, who was originally with the Chargers for all those years. Brought him back. Of course, you got Ladd McConkey. It's just a scrappy little team. I don't give any credit to Jim Harbaugh because I don't like him as far as I can throw him. But I'm sure they've already spied on the Chiefs playbook anyway.
Yeah, I agree. The game was boring in the beginning. I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, like, come on, do something. I haven't always been a huge Justin Herbert fan. He impressed me, but beating the Chiefs week 1, that's a statement. That's saying, hey, I'm here to play. Not a lot of teams have that capability. So I'm interested to see where the Chargers go in the season and see if maybe it was just hey, we're refreshed. It's the first game. This is what happened. Because in most situations, that's usually what happens.
We call that a flash in the pan.
Yeah. But it could. Maybe this is the end of the Chiefs. Who knows?
Wow. Those are strong words. Taylor's going to call you. All right. Next game up, once we started on Sunday, the first one we'll cover is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the Atlanta Falcons. This has always been, it's an NFC East rivalry. I used to be a Falcons season ticket holder because I lived in Georgia, and I've been to plenty of NFL games, as has Kara. And the Bucks coming into town was always just one of those games. Not as bad as the Saints, but the Bucks game, was always a serious game. And I tell you who I'm impressed by the most, and that's Baker Mayfield. Now, look, I am probably one of the happiest people because when Baker Mayfield played for Oklahoma, Georgia beat Oklahoma, and Baker was the quarterback. So I giggle every time I see him. But what he did, he didn't make it with the Browns, which you're about to find out nobody does. But then he went to the Rams on like 2 hours of sleep, learned the entire playbook, and took the Rams to a win. And then finally found home with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And has really just turned that ship around, so to speak. Get it, the ship?
He has. After Tom Brady retired, I really didn't see the Bucs going too far. They've got a couple good key components. Mike Evans, I mean, he's great. But after Baker got there and he finally got comfortable, I mean, they're really turning into a good team that I could end up seeing winning their division and possibly doing really good in the playoffs. Do I see them going to the Super Bowl? Not anytime soon.
But wait, the Falcons have all this talent. They've got a quarterback. They've got a running back. They've got an awesome receiving core. They have a pretty decent defense like they normally do. And as it comes many times in this game, what let them down this time was their kicker. So technically, the Tampa Bay Bucks didn't win this game. They just didn't lose it. The Falcons lost it for themselves by missing a field goal from their kicker, Younghoe Koo.
And coming from someone who has watched Koo and been in that Falcons stadium, that stadium's amazing. But it hurts a little bit. I've been a Dallas fan my whole life thanks to him. Don't let this fool you. So Falcons games, it was always like, okay, well, I'm showing up in Dallas, duh. But seeing Koo be the reason that they didn't win, they had every opportunity to win that game. And I know that they're capable, and I'm excited with the things that they have and the key players that they have and seeing where they go. Hopefully it'll be better than last year. But who knows? It's the beginning of the season. Everyone's on a high from game 1. I feel like we'll really start to see true colors game 3, game 4. It's usually
when we get the kinks worked out.
Yeah.
We'll see some good stuff. All right, next game up is a game that I never like. It is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. Neither one of these teams wanted to win.
No.
The score was 17-16. Joe Flacco looked like Joe Flacco should. Joe Burrow, he threw some balls, but at the end of the day, it was a defensive turnover that led to the victory. And for whatever reason, it's always this way when the Bengals play the Browns. We know they're both from Ohio. It's an interstate rivalry. I don't really care for either one of them, but yeah, that's about all I've got there.
It was
of course,
mediocre.
you're not going to see any of those other quarterbacks for the Browns on the field anytime soon. Just ask Deshaun Watson. Next up, we've got the Dolphins and the Colts. Now, if you were watching the Colts, you saw a really good game. The Colts,
they came to play.
They came to play with a young man named Daniel Jones. Wow. Let's see. Daniel Jones was the guy that was basically a wash-up from the New York Giants, and they got rid of him. Sent him to be Sam Darnold's backup with the Vikings. Imagine that. And that don't even sound good coming off your tongue. Sam Darnold's backup. Normally, I would say that means you're just not that good. But he's came into this Colts organization and has really, he was very impressive on the field on Sunday. The Dolphins, on the other hand,
not so much.
I don't think they were watching the same game that the Colts were watching. It was ugly. Tua had many short arm throws. The timing wasn't there. The rhythm and everything wasn't there. And the weird thing is, he's got the same receivers that he had last year. Where was the disconnect?
If anything, I feel like that game should have been a shutout the other way. I feel like the Dolphins should have stepped onto that field, being that they have primarily the exact same team that they had last year, minus a couple pieces. But they gave us nothing. Literally nothing. Tyreek Hill was cussing coaches out on the sidelines. Tua hasn't been the same since concussion number 3?
Something like that, yeah.
I think coaching could change. I myself am not a huge fan of Mike McDaniels. Do I see him getting fired halfway through the season? If they played like they did on Sunday, absolutely.
I'm always just curious with Mike McDaniels. What does he want to be when he grows up? But we'll just continue to wonder that. Next game up on the slate was one I know everybody was dying to see. Now, we live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So guess what game we're getting regardless? That is the Carolina Panthers. Yay for us. Yes, please send your condolences too, and I'll put a thing down at the bottom. The Panthers played the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, everybody's excited. Jaguars got a new coach. You got Trevor Lawrence. He's healthy. You've got some key pieces there that this could be an exciting ball game. Unfortunately, everybody realized they were playing the Panthers. And so, Bryce Young, I'm sorry, buddy, but you may as well try to re-enlist back at Alabama.
Yeah.
You're not meant for this league. You're not big enough. You're not strong enough. You're not fast enough. You're not quarterback enough. I'm sorry. You're probably a great human being. I don't mean you any ill will. But as far as us having to watch you on Sunday, I think Sam Darnold was a better choice. So, but Trevor Lawrence, let's talk about him for a minute because he looked very lackluster. I know they won 26-10, but the score don't really depict how the game went.
But to me, last season, Trevor Lawrence didn't do anything that got me excited. I love watching a quarterback. Dak Prescott is my favorite player, so it's pretty easy to kind of pinpoint, hey, he's having a really good day, or he doesn't look good. He hasn't done anything exciting. I know he became a dad. He might have a lot on his plate, but at the end of the day, when you're going to play football and you're in the position that he's in, you can't let anything else. You have to shut out all of that surrounding noise. Doesn't matter who's on the sidelines. At the end of the day, you are the quarterback. You are the one. If you don't make plays, your teammates don't make plays. And he didn't make the plays that I was expecting him to. Usually at the beginning of the season, last year, at the beginning of the season, it was like, okay, the Jags look good. And then halfway through, they fall out.
They turn into the Jags. And the score could have been a lot worse. They had opportunities to score and just really didn't take advantage of them. Yeah. So, next game we have the Las Vegas Raiders against the New England Patriots. Raiders win 20-13 with a 400-year-old quarterback and a 600-year-old coach. I mean, let's just be real here. I mean, I understand about relics. I'm old myself, but you don't see me running up down the sidelines because I don't think even at my age I could keep up with Pete Carroll. He is an amazing man. I just say to myself that I've underestimated Geno Smith all these years because from the time he was with the Jets when he first came on board, he has definitely grown, matured, and turned into an awesome quarterback. I do think it a little bit funny that the Patriots now have the best thing they could ever have, and that would be Mike Vrabel. Former player, he's won multiple Super Bowls there, definitely loved by the organization. We know from his time at Tennessee, he's a stand-up guy. He fights for his team. He is a guy you would want as your coach. The only problem is somebody, I think, needs to teach him about football because I'm not seeing the product. And they have an outstanding quarterback in Drake May.
I was just about to say that.
Oh.
Drake May, he threw some beautiful passes. I mean, he looked good. But when Vrabel was in Tennessee, he didn't do anything. And now that he's the Patriots, I'm seeing the same rhythm. He wants to get on the field and play right beside him and not coach them like he needs to. I feel like he needs someone in his ear saying, hey, you're not doing this right. Hey, maybe we should try this. I feel like the coaches around him could shift a little bit and he could end up being an amazing coach, just like Mike McCarthy. I mean, the coaches around you shift and you shine a little bit brighter because you're learning so much from all of these people that have been in the league and have done this for years. But I don't see it in him right now. I don't
either. And I hate that because he is such a likable guy.
He is.
You know. Next game, we have the Cardinals versus the New Orleans Saints. If I had some type of award for who come up with the ugliest uniform I've ever seen on a New Orleans Saints team, I would be happy to hand it to them because that gold, was it gold?
It was a throwback gold.
Did they steal jerseys from Georgia Tech's locker room or something?
It was awful.
It was pretty horrid.
It hurt watching that game because I was like, oh my God, like why?
Their play on the field matched their jerseys.
Yeah.
And really, I'm surprised they got the 13 points they did. But one thing that was proven that nobody really has paid a lot of attention to, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr. He is a unit. I mean, he is something you're going to have to tell your DBs and cornerbacks and safeties, hey, you might better put two on this guy because he is fast, he is agile. He really was a difference maker. Also with Trey Benson, he was running the ball. Even Kyler Murray got out of the pocket, ran the ball. I mean, they were doing what it took to win. I think Spencer Rattler was just so happy he was actually under center that's kind of where it ended.
But to be fair, with Kyler Murray getting out of the pocket, we saw a lot of quarterbacks do that. Most of the time, quarterbacks they're secure in their pocket. 9 times out of 10, they don't want to leave it. It was good to see quarterbacks getting out there, making plays themselves instead of, let me just give it to my running back, run right into a lineman and get 2 yards. It was nice. It's seeing the league change and the quarterbacks say, hey, okay, this isn't going as planned. Maybe I need to do something. Are all quarterbacks capable of doing that? Absolutely not. They should be. That's how they got their job. But we're definitely seeing it a lot more now than we did 2 seasons ago. So,
awesome. Next game, Steelers versus Jets. Now, I'm just going to say, we were all anticipating the return of the illustrious Aaron Rodgers. And he's going against his former team, who now the Jets quarterback is Justin Fields, who's going against his former team. You've got Mike Tomlin against Aaron Glenn. I mean, all the pieces are there. And there was one point in this game that it looked really like the Jets had it.
It did.
But what happened? It's the fourth quarter, and you got Aaron Rodgers. I personally am probably going to bet on him every time because he just gets it done.
Growing up watching him play at Green Bay, I mean, he's going to come back in the fourth quarter 9 times out of 10. I myself am a huge Justin Fields fan. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. I love Justin Fields. He proved himself on Sunday. When he was at the Bears, they went what, like 3-14 one
Something
year?
like that, yeah.
It like absolutely horrendous. He looked bad. He didn't look good with the Steelers. I don't even know if he touched the field. Like he's been in the league for 4, 5, maybe even 6 years at this point, and he looked so bad. But on Sunday, I didn't want to cut the game off and be like, oh my God, Justin Fields, like, here we go again. He looked good. It was enjoyable. He was making connections. He was making plays. He himself got out of the pocket a couple times. It was just nice to see him actually do something. Obviously, yes, he's going against a pretty difficult defense. The Steelers have a good defense. Are they always on the same page? No. But I think they look good. Aaron Rodgers, does he need to retire? Probably. But I also think that on Sunday, he kind of put those allegations to shame and saying, hey, I'm still here. I'm still playing.
Yep.
Like, you might all think that I need to retire, and you probably all expected me to retire. But he looked good. I mean, to be however old he is and be in the league for longer than I think I've been alive, it's one of those things that it's like, okay, yeah, he's still got it, but is he trying to compare to Tom Brady? Because he's not Tom Brady. So I'm interested to see where Aaron Rodgers goes. If he gets injured again, I think this will be his last season.
Oh, it's already his last season. He only signed a 1-year contract. And one reason that Justin Fields is near and dear to Kara's heart is Justin Fields used to play for the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, the problem was there wasn't a roster spot for him. In other words, he wasn't good enough to be one of the top 2 quarterbacks at Georgia at the time, so he moved on to Ohio State, which I think speaks volumes because I think one of those quarterbacks led us to back-to-back national championships.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll digress. So we'll move on. Next game, Commanders and Giants. My prediction right now is by week 4, Brian Daboll is going to be fired.
Absolutely.
And if he's not, I don't know why they didn't fire him at the end of last year. I understand he may be a genius. He's just not a genius as a head coach. And there's been plenty of people that have showed us that they may be an awesome coordinator. They may be the best at this position, but they are not worthy of being a head coach. Now, currently, what's his name?
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn is proving us wrong. We were Falcons ticket holders while Dan Quinn was at Atlanta.
And it was awful.
And I cried at night. And
Yeah.
then he goes to Dallas and creates this defense that is just
The
really
best
good.
defense in the league.
Really good.
And then we lose him.
And then we lose him to the Commanders. Now, I will say, Jaden Daniels is still Jaden Daniels. This is his second year. He is showing that he deserves to be on the field. He is an NFL-style quarterback almost right out the box. So that game was about what you would expect. It was good to see Terry McLaurin finally get through all the contract mess. He's a good guy. Get him on the field and get that going. So that was really good. Next came up, we got the Titans versus the Broncos. The Titans won 20-12. Now, this was Bo Nix's sophomore year.
Broncos won.
Broncos won?
Yeah, Broncos won.
Why did you put it backwards? Oh, it's underlined.
Underlined.
I'm learning. I'm learning. So the Broncos won 20-12. So, you mean the Titans lost? Wow.
Yeah.
I can't hardly imagine
Are you
that.
surprised?
And they're building them a new stadium because our home office for where I work is in Nashville. And
Bo Nix looked good. I mean, he made some plays, but
he looked good.
it was mediocre.
He's still third compared to the other 2 that started last year. He's still
I
third.
agree.
Next up, we got the 49ers versus the Seahawks. This game went back and forth and back and forth. Brock Purdy finally pulls it out, finds the tight end in the end zone. Of course, Kittle got hurt, pulled a hamstring way early into the game, and from what I saw today, is going to be out like 4 to 6 weeks.
I definitely think losing Kittle affected them. I mean, they had McCaffrey coming into this game with a calf injury, somehow managed to push through and play, but you could tell every time that man got tackled, he was in pain. When we know Brock Purdy, if he's not targeting Christian McCaffrey, he's targeting George Kittle. Those are his 2 guys. Those are his 2 top players. Losing George Kittle and having an already injured Christian McCaffrey set them up for failure. And I also saw today that Purdy's out for possibly 2 weeks with an injury too.
Yeah, he's got a shoulder and a toe. I don't know how you do that.
I don't know. I feel like the 49ers were really, really good about 2 years ago.
Well, the Seahawks, their quarterback was Sam Darnold. Hey, we were talking about him earlier. Wow. And they also got Cooper Kupp from the Rams.
They did.
That's 2 people out of 11 that could do
But
something
see,
for them.
I'm upset about the Seahawks because their D-line, they've got DeMarcus Lawrence now. And we know from watching him in Dallas, D-Law, he's good on that D-line.
Yes.
They didn't amaze me, though.
No, I wasn't really impressed.
They could use a couple more targets, a couple more if they had a Micah Parsons, then I feel like the Seahawks defense would be pretty unstoppable.
Well, and the Seahawks defense used to be called the Legion of Boom. They had a superior defense. Of course, you lose people like Fred Warner and all those others. It makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Next game up was Lions versus Packers. Now, Kara and I are both Dan Campbell fans.
Love Dan Campbell.
We love us some Dan Campbell. And Dan Campbell kind of has a hard road to hoe this year because he lost his defensive coordinator. He lost his offensive coordinator. Both went on to take head coaching jobs. Ben Johnson went to the Chicago Bears to be their head coach.
Yep.
And Aaron Glenn went on to the Jets to be their coach. So he had to kind of rebuild. Most of the people in place are there.
We're the same.
Are the same. So team-wise, Jared Goff looked good. Of course, Jahmyr Gibbs looked good. Montgomery was there. Everybody played their part. And now that you have a good and healthy Hutchinson on the defensive line again, that gives that presence of,
It helps.
chasing down the quarterback and those things. The only problem was they played the Packers.
They played Micah Parsons.
They played against Micah Parsons. I heard Jordan Love was there too. But
Yeah, somewhere.
He is that guy who should be the most prepared quarterback of anybody on the planet. He sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. And when he got his chance, he came into the limelight. And to me, he's still behind Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. Even though he's been in the league longer, he's still behind those rookies from last year who are in their sophomore season. He's just not clicking yet. There's some games he has amazing abilities and makes some good passes, but they won, yes. Their running game is also very strong. They do have Josh Jacobs. So, they look good. They did win 27-13. The Rams still need a few more pieces in place. They still got to click a little bit more.
But to me, I feel like that going into that game was a little interesting to watch because I saw something before the game saying Micah wasn't playing. Because when he got traded, he had a back injury. And the Packers claimed that they didn't know anything about the back injury. But in preseason, Parsons was laid out under blue tents dealing with his back injury. It was open to everyone on the internet. The NFL even said Parsons would possibly not play if he stayed with Dallas due to a back injury. So he started, yes, he took Jared Goff down. It looked good. He's Micah Parsons. But I feel like going into that game, they were scared on offense because they didn't know what the Packers defense was going to look like. Nobody did. Because we don't know what they look like with Micah. Now we do.
And they only had a week. He was only there a week before the first game.
But there's only so much that Dan Campbell and his defensive coordinator offensive coordinator could have prepared his guys unless they're watching Dallas film and then trying to think about, okay, well, this is the Packers, though. It's not the Dallas D-line. So it was just an iffy game going into it. I'm not really surprised at the outcome. I wish Dan Campbell was anywhere but the Lions.
There you go. Next game we have is Houston Texans against the Los Angeles Rams. Rams win 14-9. At one point in this game, I don't think either one of them wanted to win. I do pull for the Rams because of Matthew Stafford. Why? Because he went to Georgia. Oh, and their second-string quarterback, Stetson Bennett. Yeah, the guy I was talking about who won back-to-back national championships in college, that guy. So I do have a affinity for the Rams. The Texans, as much as she likes C.J. Stroud,
looked horrible.
Somebody should have called him and told him to come to the game because whoever that imposter was out there.
It was so bad.
It was really terrible. He has weapons too. Nico Collins. He's got some really good things there. Plus, he is a mobile quarterback. So I know their defense has suffered ever since J.J. Watt hasn't been there. I get that. They lost Jadeveon Clowney. They've lost some big names in football, but at the end of the day, they keep building. Their coach is an awesome guy. Again, just like Vrabel. He's an awesome guy.
He is.
But awesome guys don't necessarily win football games.
But they also don't look like the Texans from last year.
They don't. They don't.
And I honestly, sometimes I feel like the whole Tank Dell injury, God knows when he's going to be back.
Yeah, I don't know if he still has a leg.
Yeah,
so,
but I feel like that affects C.J. Stroud. But also, like last year, the Texans didn't look good coming into the season. They lost a couple games. They won a couple by like 2 or 3 points. But it wasn't amazing until they finally found their rhythm about week like 6, 7, 8. They started looking really good and everyone was getting scared. We need that Texans team all throughout the season, and I feel like they could go to the Super Bowl hands down.
Very bold prediction. Okay, next up, the game of that we were all waiting for, the Sunday night game with the Bills versus the Ravens. 2 MVP quarterbacks going at it. I mean, for the Ravens, I mean, you have to speak good about them. I mean, Lamar Jackson is an incredible athlete. I wouldn't get in front of Derrick Henry if he was bringing me a pizza.
No.
I mean, there is no way. He is a beast. I mean, they have some players. They've got Kyle Hamilton. They have really shored up everything. I'm just surprised, though, that they stopped playing the game with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Because during that 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter,
the Bills scored 16 points.
Yeah, and Josh Allen showed why he is the current MVP and really let them down there on some good drives. I mean, the receivers were clicking, and there's no pick on one. It's a team of everybody.
It was.
I mean, Knox caught balls. I mean, it was just a bunch of different people that led to that. I'm not going to speak about it a lot. They're my favorite team. I think you're going to continue to see them, and you're going to continue to see them in the win column. Now, when we lose games that are big, we can get frustrated. And we all understand that. It can be frustrating. And, of course, you've heard of the term Bills Mafia. So those people up there in Bills country, they're crazy. I mean, we all know that. They're crazy.
They love their team. And that's one thing about the Bills Mafia. You don't mess with the Mafia.
Yeah, they're crazy people. And then, lo and behold, one of them has to hit DeAndre Hopkins in the head. And then got shoved by Lamar Jackson, probably up 3 rows. I wasn't able to see him. He actually got shoved into outer space. I never saw him again. But, all the debate comes out then. Oh, my God, I can't believe you touched the fan. I can't believe you did this. Hey, wait a minute. Lamar Jackson was defending his teammate. Should he have been hit in the head? No. Granted, he was hit in the helmet. So it's not like it was some crushing blow or anything. But there's always been a line in the sand. If they'll give you a high five, take it. Otherwise, don't try to grope all over the players. And this fan actually has been banned because of his behavior from every NFL stadium, not just the Bills stadium, but from every NFL stadium. So maybe he's got Red Zone or Sunday Ticket, because that's where he's going to go and watch the games.
Honestly, with the amount of money he's going to be saving on tickets, he can afford Sunday Ticket because it is expensive.
Well, considering where he was sitting,
he paid good money.
I can tell you from experience, those are not cheap.
No, they are not, because you know how many times I've tried to talk this man into taking me to a Bills game. I would love to see the Bills. I love me some Josh Allen. I love the Bills. He won't do it. But also for the Bills, I feel like it said a lot because that was their last season opener in that stadium.
Right.
We know that this stadium is probably one of the worst stadiums in the NFL because it's in Buffalo and it's wide open. They have to be moved at least twice a year.
Oh, yeah. Or they hire fans to clear out the stadium.
To shovel.
Yeah.
But it really said a lot for the Bills coming back and saying, hey, we're not doing this. Like, this is who we have, and this is why we are the Bills. This is why we have our MVP.
And they lost players this year, too. They lost
did.
Von Miller. They lost quite a few players, but they really put it together.
They also brought Matt Prater. Matt Prater, who was coaching his son. He is the assistant coach to his son's football team when he got the call, jumped on a plane, met the team 2 days before, and then kicked the winning field goal.
There you go.
I mean, it doesn't get more Buffalo than that.
I mean, that's perfect. All right, so the last game we have is a Monday night game, which was between the Vikings and the Bears. Now, this was technically the debut of J.J. McCarthy because, as we know, last year he was a rookie. He got hurt in training camp, tore his whatever in his knee, Achilles, whatever he tore. He messed himself up pretty good and did not play one single snap in the NFL last year. So this year is almost like his rookie season, even though he's a second-year player. And his first half was pretty abysmal.
It was bad. It was awful. I mean, I quit watching the game at halftime and then went back to it because I was like, that's J.J. McCarthy, the one that won a national championship the year before he came into the NFL. Come on now. It didn't, there's no way.
It looked really bad. When they opened up the third quarter, we've only been a few plays into the third quarter, and he throws a pick six. Not like a 6-yard pick six. No, a 76-yard pick six. I mean, you mean there was nobody that could catch him? Or did nobody? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a Vikings fan, so I can't really speak to that. One thing I can say good about the Vikings, and I think it's a good story, is that Adam Thielen, a Minnesota native, used to play for the Vikings, has went back to the Vikings. That's one of the things that the Panthers give up because I think they realized they were just ruining him, and he could go back to the Vikings and do good. Now, they played the Bears, which, of course, we all know. Oh, Caleb Williams. Oh, he went to USC. Oh, he's a number 1 draft pick. Oh, he's just waiting to turn this thing around. I still don't see it. I'm sorry. He's got a new coach. I don't see it.
I didn't see it in college. I didn't see it his rookie year. I had a bad taste in my mouth about Caleb Williams before the draft even happened. This man is saying, oh, I'm the best in the league and all this. You haven't touched an NFL field yet. You don't know what it's like. And I think his rookie year humbled him. I think he realized he is not what he thought he was. He is not the greatest quarterback of all time. He wants to be. He wants to fill his head and think that he is. But he's not. He doesn't impress me. I didn't really see anything that it's like, oh my God, okay, that's the Caleb Williams we're waiting to see. I didn't see that. So, I don't know.
We will see. More to be determined. Okay, so that's our games for this week. I think we've covered all of them. Give you our little anecdotes and things. We've covered all of our topics. We did heard little bits and pieces that maybe Tyreek Hill is getting traded from the Dolphins. Now, I know earlier in the training camp time, he was wanting to be traded and was looking at, some other things, but, I don't know. We'll see.
I want to cover something real quick. Right before we started this, we found out that Jalen Carter is getting fined by the NFL $57,000. And it being that he is from Georgia, I love Jalen Carter. What can I say? Did he do some stupid things in college? Yes, he did.
He did.
That we all know that.
57.
But spitting on a quarterback, if that is like going up to Jerry Jones himself and spitting in Jerry Jones' face.
It's terrible.
You don't spit on a quarterback. And I know there's a whole thing going on right now saying, oh, Dak spit first. No. If you watch Dak Prescott's press conference from after that game, they were in a huddle. He was in the middle of the huddle. He's got 2 linemen right here. Dak said that he spits 1,000 times. He does. If you watch a Dallas game, the man spits 24/7. He stepped out of his lineman, spit, and then Jalen Carter, who was talking crap about one of Dak's rookies, came up and started having a problem. But $57,000, I think that is a huge slap in the face to Jalen Carter saying, hey, you can't do that. You don't act like that.
It was an example. And plus, it was before even the first snap of the ball game. So that suspension ended up just being that game. He was suspended in 1 game because he didn't actually physically play in the game. That ended up being a suspension game. So that news literally before we came on here today just happened.
Hit.
So we're going to do a new little segment where we're going to make some picks. We've picked 4 games. So, you want to play along with us. We're going to just keep up with our record as the season goes on and, just kind of see how we turn out. Obviously, we're biased on some of them, but, there's a couple in here that I've picked that you wouldn't thought I would have picked based on what I've already told you. So, first game we got for this coming week is the Steelers versus the Seahawks. My pick is the Steelers.
I'm going Steelers. I want to see how Aaron Rodgers does. I think he's going to do okay. I'm interested to see how the Seahawks defense kind of plays up against him, but I think the Steelers are pulling this game out. No problem.
Next up, we have another NFC North divisional battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. I am picking the Bears.
And I'm picking the Lions. I'm sticking with Dan Campbell. After seeing what Caleb Williams did last night, I'm not impressed. So I'm sticking with my gut.
Next game we're going to do is the LA Rams are playing the Tennessee Titans. As you already know, I'm going with the Rams.
I'm also going with the Rams. I'm not wasting my time on the Titans.
And our last game this week is going to be a good one. They may tie at 0. It's going to be the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins, and I am taking the good old boy Mike Vrabel and the Patriots.
I'm taking the Patriots for the simple fact that I want to see Drake May ball out against the Dolphins. I think that's going to give him a good name. I mean, obviously the Dolphins didn't look too great, but we know the Dolphins. We know they're a good team. I'm interested to see how Drake May holds up against them.
Good. Okay, well, we've come to the conclusion of our show. Listen, this was our first one. We're waiting on some equipment to come in. We're waiting on possibly a cool backdrop. We're rookies. What can we say? But we do appreciate you watching. Please share this with your friends that like to talk NFL football. Like I say, we just try to have a good time. It's something that we do every week, and we'll continue to do throughout the remainder of this NFL season. Also, today's podcast for week 1 is sponsored by EV Rescue Myrtle Beach. It is a mobile EV charging service, and they can come to you. One of the biggest problems with EV vehicles is called range anxiety, where people think they just don't have enough charge left to make it where they need to go. And there's a good network of chargers around this area, but this mobile service can come to you whether you're at work, whether you're at home, whether you live like we do in an apartment where there are not any EV chargers stationary. This company will come to you and give you that extra little bit to help you feel better and get you on to your destination. You can find them on the link that I have below, and they would definitely love to hear from you. Well, Carrie, do you have any final words?
I don't. I think week 1 was good. I mean, we got to see some good football. We got to see some fights. Sometimes that's the best part of football.
Sometimes it is.
But the season's back. I'm just so excited the season's back. I've been talking about football day in from sun up to sundown. I'm interested to see what happens. Go Cowboys.
Well, I knew that was coming. I'll just apologize in advance. Hey, guys, we appreciate you. Check us out next week. We'll be on the same time, and we just look forward to seeing some more NFL games and cheer for your favorite team.